Hey, it's Dinny. This video I'll be showing you how to transform into Akali's KDA version from League of Legends. Now, I definitely do not have the dance moves, but I can show you how to look the part. Let's go. Alright, so in our last makeup tutorial, which was for Harley Quinn from Birds of Prey, we jumped right into the transformation. But here, I want to show you how to start the base of your makeup. So first things first, I have my contacts in already. These are blue contacts from GUI Shop. And the next thing I do is I start color correcting. I'm using a orange toned concealer so that I can remove all the darkness from underneath my eyes as well as the corners of my mouth. There are many things to learn about color correcting, but for now, this orange tone basically counteracts blue tones, which are often found in under eye circles, which is why we're using it here. So the next step is actually to move on to foundation. I prefer using foundation over concealer just because I like it to be more breathable. Here I'm using a medium coverage foundation, and I like to apply that using my finger and adding dots all over my face that will be blending out with this beauty blender. So you can use any sponge that you have on hand, but I just like how dense and soft these little guys are. And while I'm blending away, I'd like to just let you all know that this makeup tutorial is brought to you by my patrons. Every month I have a poll that my patrons get to vote on for the next character I'll do a makeup tutorial for the next month. So please come join us if you want to have a chance at getting your vote out, as well as seeing a bunch of exclusive content that I post only to Patreon. You can find the link in the description, and I hope to see you there. Again, you don't have to do this, but I'd really appreciate it. So back to the makeup tutorial. Here you can see me reaching for that foundation once again. Some of the orange would still peek through, so I'm just using the foundation to layer it on. And I'm also taking my time to blend everything out and make sure there are no harsh edges or no places where the foundation is thicker than everywhere else. And the last step to the base is to set everything in place using a loose powder on a fluffy brush. I make sure to tap off any excess powder just so that I don't apply too much and make it look all cakey. And basically this is the base of the makeup. I like having a completely clean canvas before I transform into whatever character I'm transforming to. So before we get started, I just want to show you that I have a reference of Akali from the music video open right next to me. You'll see me looking off towards it every once in a while. No matter how many times I've cosplayed a character, I'll always have a reference next to me when I am doing their makeup. In this case, it really helped me capture Akali's facial structure because Akali's face is a little longer than mine. So here I am using contour to mimic where her cheekbones sit, which is a lot higher than mine. I'm also putting it all the way down to my chin because her chin is also a little more pronounced. By looking at the reference, I can really tell which parts of my face I have to add contour to and pull back, while I know what to later put highlight on afterwards. Don't forget to add contour to the side of your face, under your neck, so that everything is blended together and you don't look muddy like you just have darkness just by your cheeks. And now I have a fluffy brush with me so that I can start contouring my nose. Akali's nose is very straight and slim, and it also looks a little pointier on the tip, which is why I'm kind of drawing the triangular shape that I think it has. So here I'm basically mapping everything out. It looks a little dark for now, but we'll blend everything together later. Don't be afraid to basically get that shape in first and then blend everything out afterwards. I think one part that's really important for nose contouring is making sure it's not just adding lines to the side of your nose bridge. You need to bring that color down, shade it out like you can see here, bring it all the way up to your eyebrows so everything looks more natural and it's basically a seamless look. It won't really look like you've put makeup on your nose, and that's basically the whole point with this contouring. Here you can see me start to add darkness right by the inner corner, starting from the nose bridge all the way down there. It is part of the music video. I think it's more of an art style choice and it brings out the highlight in their eyes more, but I really liked how it looked, so I thought it could also look really good in cosplay form. So once the contour is done, I move towards the eyes now. First, I do the eyebrows because we know that the eyebrows shape the entire face, so I'm using some eyeshadow just to map out how the brows should be shaped. I'll be cleaning this all up later, so don't worry about getting it too perfect. So I'm just getting the length and the shape of her eyebrows. Now I am using my handy dandy eyebrow embroidery pen. It's basically a eyebrow liner that has 3 different nibs on the end so that you can draw 3 little hairs at once. It makes the look more convincing, also because I have really light eyebrows, so I need to fill up a lot of space there. I'll admit there's a bit of a learning curve with these eyebrow pens, but the things you have to do are have a light hand and always draw in the direction where your eyebrow's hair naturally grows. So moving on to the eyes, I think this is the most distinct part in Akali's makeup. I start off with a shimmery, very light pink color for the entire lid, and then I start working in this bronzy color in the outer and inner edges of the eye. This is because in the music video, she has kind of like this highlight right at the center of her eyelid, so we're trying to mimic that. Make sure everything is blended out nicely, and then you can start adding an even deeper color of brown shimmery shadow right by the crease of your eye. I also add this underneath my eye and smoke it out very lightly. My best advice for doing eyeshadow is to always build it up slowly. For this smoky makeup look, we're also actually going to smoke out the liner. So how to do that is to grab a eyeshadow brush with a very thin edge. This happens to be my thinnest one. And add some black eyeshadow to the tip of that brush. Then you are basically going to line your entire eye using that black eyeshadow. Dabbing it on for your top lid is, I think, the best method on how to add that liner and be very precise. While doing on the bottom lid, you can see here that I'm actually sliding it around and I'm putting most of that color on the edge and just very slowly bringing it towards the inner corner of my eye. Once you have that done, grab a clean brush and just blend the very edges of that liner that you just made towards the eyeshadow. On top of all that, I still use a liquid liner just to add more definition and sharpness to the eye. As you can see, it's still a very thin line and most of the liner is actually coming from that smoked out eyeshadow. And here I've moved on to highlighter. I actually saved this step for last, mostly because it's my favorite step in the makeup process. But for some reason, I did it here. I don't know, I'm looking back at this and I'm questioning myself. But anyway, I add the highlighter above anywhere I contoured. Adding the highlighter above the contour basically creates more contrast, and this is what makes our illusion of changing our face shape and certain features more believable. So don't forget to add contour on your chin, on your forehead, and the nose bridge on your nose tip. For Akali, I actually blended it all the way down next to my lips just to make my face look longer. And here I am putting it in my inner corner to brighten up that area, as well as underneath my eyebrows. And the last step for the eye makeup is all about the lashes. Of course, we can't forget them, so here I am curling them up and then I'm using some mascara just to add some darkness there and make sure they stay curled because my lashes notoriously do not want to curl. Anyway, after that, I add on some false lashes. I'm using just those wispy lashes that aren't exactly natural, but they're not very out there. And as you can see, I am struggling. I think applying eyelashes is one of the hardest things in makeup, and I still haven't gotten used to it, and I just can't do it. So I did it off camera, guys. Sorry. With that finally out of the way, the last thing I do is grab a white eyeliner and just line my bottom waterline. This will make the eyes look more alert, more awake, and generally just more anime as well. And finally, for Akali's lips, I'm actually just lining my natural lip shape because our lip shapes are kind of similar. We have quite full lips. And for Akali's color of her lips, they're actually like this nudie pink, which I actually don't have in my lipstick. So instead, I grabbed my favorite nude brown and layered a red pink tone on top of it and kind of just blended it together. Once everything is done, I actually take some time to look at the finished makeup and see if I need to do any adjustments. And in this case, I realized that the rest of the makeup I did kind of washed out the darkness in the eyebrows, so here I'm just darkening them. I also noticed that my eyelashes were still struggling, so I fixed them off camera. Anyway, I'll be showing you the final look with the makeup, the wig, and the rest of the costume. Alright, so that's it for the Akali makeup tutorial. I hope that this video has entertained you or that you learned something new. If you use any of the tips and tricks I've taught here, be sure to tag me at Dinny Grayson on social media. And if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to this channel, I guess. Because I'll be having a makeup video at least once a month, and maybe I'll have some in between, who knows? Thanks, see you guys next time!